Hi there and welcome to yet another FaceMaker video tutorial. I am Nuno and today we'll be creating a watch face based on the Pip Boy, that gadget from the Fallout game series by Bethesda. Some users have mentioned that I never create rectangular or square watch faces. Well, this time I'm going to build a watch face for the Huawei Fit 2. So first, here on FaceMaker, I'll be changing the watch into Fit 2 here. Okay, so let's create a watch face for this watch. And I gathered some images that we could use on this watch face. I didn't create a watch face to use as a reference before, so we'll be creating it from scratch, from the ground up, based on other images I found on the internet, like these here. Okay, so I think we should start by creating a background, but first I will be switching the build mode to enhanced. Okay, this is a much powerful mode that allows you to have much more data types on your watch face. So keep that in mind, and if you have enough experience with FaceMaker, you should switch to enhanced mode. So let's start by adding a background main container and then adding an image. Here I will be placing it on the top left side and pressing generate. And we can set it to be the same size as the watch. So 336 by 480. There we go. Full size. And I would like to add some effect on the background. If you notice on some of those old TVs or old monitors, you have sort of a striped effect on the background, just like this. Okay, I want to emulate this. So for this, we have a perfect effect that we can add, which is the pattern effect. There we go. We could use the stripes, but if you notice, the interval between the white stripes is the same as the width of the stripe. So this won't work. We have one that is perfect, which is the CRT pattern. So this pattern has bigger stripes, larger stripes, and a smaller interval between them. Okay, so this is what we need. I will be reducing the scale on the y-axis, so to make them smaller. And now I need to get that color, that green color, okay, for the background. So what I'll do is, let me see here, perhaps this green will work. I'm going to print screen the whole image, the whole screen, and here on a FaceMaker I'll add an image. And then I will paste it here by clicking this image preview and pressing Ctrl V. And the image should be pasted there. There we go. Now let's make it smaller. Something perhaps using the watch width, so 336. There we go. And now we can zoom in and go back into that background image, selecting the pattern effect and picking this green color. So just like that, we'll head it to the favorites, and you can see that I already have one similar here. Let's perhaps remove it and leave this one that we just picked. So right away, if we zoom out and we can delete this image here, you'll see that we have that image sample and it's being used on the pattern. The problem is it's too overwhelming, so we need to make it darker. Here on the color picker, we can perhaps reduce the alpha channel of the color. So we're making it transparent, and since this is black on the background, the black will mix with the green color and make it darker. So let me see here. We'll try to make this less obvious, and I believe this will work. Okay, we can always fine-tune this later, so we'll leave it as is. So will be the background. So now I want to take care of the Pip Boy itself. We will have area here that will show the hours, and the Pip Boy on this side here. And I think I will go with an animation, and I might use this one here, but we need to cut everything around the animation. So how do we do that? In FaceMaker, I downloaded the animation already. I think it's this one here, or rather, no, it's not this one. Let's see if perhaps this one. No, not this one. Okay, we can download it again. So let's come in here and just make save image as, and then I will save it here on the reference. I think it's on the desktop. Yeah, there we go. And let's save it here and save. Okay. So now we have this animation we can import into FaceMaker. So let's do that. Here I will have a frame-by-frame animation widget, and then I will simply drag and drop the animation we just downloaded. There we go. It's all processed, and now we need to crop it. And for that we have, we should first make it the same size as the canvas. So let's do that. Crop the canvas. There we go. Now let's go and add a crop effect right here. And we now need to cut it like this, all around the Pip Boy, and remove everything else. Just keep the boy in the frame, and we can do that by defining the coordinates we need to use here on the crop effect. So right now we need to push this to the left, and for that all we have to do is this. So this may take a while because FaceMaker is processing 31 frames each time you make a change here. So now I pushed it 99 pixels to the left, and now I'm going to use Shift and the mouse wheel to preview. Oh, sorry. There we go. Now it seems to be in the frame, but I think we can remove more. So let's go with 111. Maybe it's too much. Okay, let's preview it now. And this will work, I think. So now we have cut it or pushed it to the left, but we need to cut the image up until here. So you can do that here on the width field, and I will remove 212. There we go. Now let's preview and see if at any given time the Pip Boy is contained inside the animation. And indeed it is. Now we need to cut the upper part of the animation. Okay, so let's remove some pixels on top, and I'll go with -80 for now. And we need to remove more. So let's do this until only Pip Boy is on the frame. And there we go. So we removed 89. So here I'll make it 190, or rather, sorry, 190. Yeah, we need to remove even more. So There we go. This is way too much, so let's give it a few more pixels there. And now let's see what we have, and we can bring it to the center now. And I believe we can remove some pixels on the left, but we did the worst part, which was to remove all that stuff we didn't need. So right now I am going to apply the crop effect, and this is what we were left with, okay? Now we have a problem. We have a black background that we need to remove. And for that we have another effect, which is the color to alpha. Now let's apply it. Select a black color, like that, and increase the threshold. There we go. Immediately you see we remove the black color, and if I press play, the Pip Boy is only the Pip Boy is being displayed. The background was removed, and this will work wonderfully for us. So I say this is done, and we can now proceed. I'll apply this color to alpha effect, and done. Okay, so now let's keep this right here, and now let's take care of the other widgets. So let's take a look at the references. I believe something like this will work. So let's open this on GIMP. There we go. I will create this shape here, right here, where the minutes and hours will be placed. Okay, so let's do that. Zoom in. I'm going to push it to the left, and maybe I'll enable the guidelines, because this will allow us to find the exact center of the watch face. And you may notice that we have some transparent pixels around the Pip Boy. They're useless, so we can remove them. Let's apply a crop to content. There we go. Now it's completely optimized. No useless pixels around the Pip Boy. This is absolutely perfect for what we need. So now let's take care of that structure where we'll put the hours and minutes. And for that, I'm going to add an image right here. And now let's select the draw vector. Okay, so I believe something like this will work, okay? Right where the guidelines are. So let's do that. Click Control-Alt to keep the 45 degrees increments. This way you'll make sure that you're doing straight lines, okay? So this is done. Let's go all the way up to here, and this is done. Now I'll increase the line width. We might go with 3 for now. Now I'm gonna pick that green color, or rather we don't need it. We have it here, so all we have to do is select it, and there we go. Now we only have half of the structure, half of the area we need. Now I am going to apply a mirror effect. So let's go into the mirror, add it, and enable the vertical option. There we go. Now this way we are sure that this is absolutely mirrored on the bottom part, okay? So let's apply it, and done. Now I am going to apply another effect, and this one will be the pattern. So for the pattern, we want that same pattern we had it on the background, that CRT pattern. So let's use it, CRT. Let's crank this down, okay? And use the mask option right here. There we go. Now we need that color, and done. Yeah, I think this will work perfectly. Okay, so now we can further enhance this by pushing the Pip Boy to the left, pressing preview, and I believe this will work. Okay, so just to take a grasp of how things are going, I believe I should add the hours and the minutes right now. So I'm gonna add a main time container right here, and then adding a image set and selecting the hours first digit. Now I made some research, and I needed to find the font used on the interface. You may, for example, here. No, this is not a good example because whoever built this watch face did not use the original font. So this has a specific font. Let's open this up again. Yeah, this one is not using it. So, but I made some research and I realized the font used on the Pip Boy interface is called the Monofonto. So I found it and I saved it on the hard drive, and I am now going to import it. So let's go into the Fonts tab on the Preferences and press Import Font. And here I believe I copy it onto this hard drive. Monofonto, there we go. So it's imported. So let's press Submit. And here I am going to press Generate. And we need to use that green color, so let's pick it. We had it saved on the colors picker, but not on the gradient picker. They're different animals, okay? They're totally different beasts. So let's add this to the favorites, there we go. And we can now use that font we imported, the Monofonto, and increase the size. Okay, now we know this is the center of the vertical center of the watch face. So let's try and keep the numbers organized so they go correctly on the interface. We know it has to be above this line, this red line, okay? So I believe this size will work. Let's duplicate or clone this widget here. Change the data type to hours second digit and press Generate. And now move it to the right. There we go. Right now, if I press play, it should display the correct hours. So 14 and 14 here, okay? So this is working. Now I am going to simply select these two and Control C, Control V, and we have two copies. Now I'll select them and I'll push them down using the arrow keys and the shift key pressed at the same time. Now I need to generate numbers for them. And here I'll first select the minute's first digit and press Generate. There we go. And now this one, minute's second digit, Generate. And if I press play, go. The correct hours are being displayed, and this should work perfectly for our purpose. I believe I can make the numbers larger because we have a lot of space here. Okay, let's do that. So press Generate again, and I'll go with maybe 130. Oops, sorry, 1, 3, and 0. There we go. Now this should be better for whoever uses this watch face because it will look larger and the hours will be easier to see on the watch. There we go. 130 is perfect. So let's press Generate here and 130. And finally, this one, Generate. There we go. Now we can simply align this by using the snapping tool. And this is enabled up here, okay? If this is disabled, you can move without lines, getting in the way. But I find the snapping to be very useful. And for the snapping to work, you have to be zoomed out, okay? 100% zoom. So if I zoom in, the snapping no longer works. So let's align this one here. There we go. I believe this is perfect. So we can now proceed, press preview and see what we have here. And yes, this will work perfectly. Okay, now we need some information here that will tell the user what this is. I mean, we know this is the time, but you know, it's just an element on the screen that will indicate what this is. So right now I am going to create a shape. This will be a square shape that we'll put here, right there. And now let's make the height somewhere around 70 or maybe smaller. I believe this will work. So okay, yeah, this will work. So we can now lock it and apply the pattern effect. Last pattern, there we go. Turn off the guidelines and see what we have here. Okay, I believe this is perfect, so let's go with it. Okay, so now we need to put the letters here, the word time, but it has to be vertical. So let's add a text artistic and add the T letter and make it black. There we go. We're using the same font we used the last time for the numbers. So FaceMaker remembers the last font you used, which is very useful. So I'm trying to, you know, check if the word time will fit in here. Okay, so clone, bring it down and change it to high. There we go. And clone, bring it down, change it to M. Clone, bring it down and change it to E. And I believe this could be larger because right now you can hardly see it. Okay, maybe 14. Let's change each one of them. Oops, sorry. 14 and 14. There we go. Now I believe this will be better because on the watch this will look very small. And let me just check the spacing between the letters. And yes, I believe we have a good result. So let's continue. I think I'll merge these right now. So let's do that. And there we go. This is merged and we can now proceed and lock it. Okay, that way it will get out of the way. So on the references I downloaded and on the interface I see on the game, I can see that it has some sort of a menu on the top. So let me open this image here for you. There we go. Now we have this sort of a menu. I would like to replicate it on the watch face. So the items on the menu are stat, inf, data, map, and radio. I'll only be using 3. Okay, so let's go with stat, inf, and data. So this is easy. Just add an artistic text and let's write a stat. And this should be that green color. There we go. And it has to be bigger. So something like this. So stat, inf, and data. Perhaps this is too large. Let's go with 24. Okay. So 24. We have to create this shape also. right here. So let's do that. This is very easy with FaceMaker. You just add a image and then enable the vector draw. Let's zoom in and let's start drawing. So perhaps I won't do this. I'll go straight like this, go up, go to the right, and then continue on the other side. Okay, so let's do that. It has to be beneath the stat text. So we'll start here, and now I'll use Control-Alt to preview the line and also to make straight lines. So right there. And now we need to continue on the other side. Here we were on the 24 pixels. You can see it here on the coordinates. We were on the coordinate 24. So here we should continue on the same spot. So 23, 24, and let's click. Oops, sorry. I'm going to delete it because I need to make a new segment. And for that, we have to press Shift. So 24, click, and there we go. So now we use Control-Alt again, right there. We come down, there, and now we go all the way to the right. There we go. So I believe this will work, but I need to make the line thicker. So let's go with the 3 setting. Right there. And yes, I think this will work. Okay, so now let's create the other menu options. So let's clone this one and change the text to inv for inventory, I think, or inventory. And now let's clone it and push it to the right. And this will be data. There we go. Now this is just a visual element. It won't do anything, okay? You won't be able to press it. We can later put some, I don't know, some shortcuts here and maybe change these words here. But right now, this is good as is, okay? And we can proceed. But first, I would like to add that CRT pattern. So let's do that. Let's select pattern here, change to CRT, and select that green color. There we go, and use mask. Okay. Yeah, I believe this will work perfectly. Okay, we can proceed, and now let me see here. I'm gonna take a look at the reference images to see what we can do. I like this progress widgets here, but I was thinking of using round ones instead. I think it will give it a special, different look. So let's do that. Okay, so right now I'm going to add a widget main container, and here I will add a container and set it to arc rate. So arc rate, there we go. And here I will add a circle. So the circle uses these settings here, and it needs an image. Usually you would have to create it on GIMP or Photoshop, but you can create it on FaceMaker by pressing this button here. There we go. I am going to reduce the opacity of the mask because we don't need it. And the generator is using the last color that we used for other widgets, so this is very convenient, okay? I'm going to increase the width of the line. I want it to be thick, okay? So let's go with 26 and now reduce the radius. Something like this. So I need to fit at least 3 of these circles down here. I'll be going with perhaps heart rate, steps, and here I might go with battery. So we'll see. Let's set the width again. Perhaps this is too thick. I would like to insert an icon that will indicate what this is. And in here, I'll indicate that is heart rate. So I'll put a heart shape, an icon, and on the others too. So we need to account for that. So I'm working with the line width here, and I'll be putting 3 of them down here. So let me see here. I might also put the text indicating the value down here. Okay, so yeah, I believe this will be perfect. So it will start here and end here after a full lap is made, okay, around the circle. If I press preview now, you see how this will work. I need to add that pattern too. So I believe this will work from a distance. I can see we can put an icon inside. So I'll go with it, okay? I'll call it done, and then I will apply a pattern effect. There we go. Now, if I press preview, you'll notice that when the circle is not 360, when it's not fully visible, you have nothing, okay? This would be invisible. This is not good practice, okay? We should always have, behind this kind of progress widgets, we should have a placeholder that will show what the image should be when it's full, okay? So right now, what I'm going to do is over this image here, I will click it and press Ctrl C. So the image is now on the clipboard, and we can now add an image here and press Ctrl V. And there we go. We have a perfect copy of this circle here, which is a static image that we can put behind and use it as a placeholder, okay? This other widget I dragged before is the container. So this works as a shortcut for Huawei. So wherever you define this shape, the container shape, when you press it on the watch, you will be taken into the heart rate app. So this actually works as a shortcut, okay? So I'm going to set it here and maybe tweak it later, but I believe this size will work. We can maybe increase it a little bit, and there we go. This should work. So this is done, and we can now lock it, but I need to define where this placeholder will go. So we can do this by simply going into the circle here and seeing where it is located. You can also, for example, select it here, and by using the snapping, you'll know that you have a perfect placing, okay? This is now placed behind the heart rate circle, and we can hide it that you can still see it. But right now this is too bright for a placeholder, so we need to apply, first apply the effect, and then, oh damn, I apply the effect on the circle. This is not what I wanted. No problem. We want to apply, or rather, a opacity here. So let's go and apply an opacity effect and lower the opacity. Let's lock it. So remember, we just want a placeholder, a hint of where the circle will fill in. So right now, if I show the circle and play, you see what we have there. So we copy the circle image, we put it on the background, and we lowered the opacity. I believe we can go even further. There we go. It should still hint at the shape of the circle. There we go. Now this is perfect. 14. Okay. Now we can define where the other circles will go. Okay. I'll enable the guidelines and I'll make a copy from this placeholder, a clone, and unlock it. And now we can move it and align it to the center. This is not aligned, so let's further continue to place it, and there we go. This should work perfectly. And finally create another clone and move it to the right, and this is where the third circle will go. Okay, so I believe this should work. It's more or less spaced evenly, I think. And yes, I believe this will work, so let's go with this. The placeholders are in place for the other two data types that we'll be adding, which will be steps, and here it will be battery. Okay, so now let's do this. Let's create the other containers. So here, one container for the steps. There we go, and we can now place it, because remember, this will work as a shortcut. And this is aligned with the heart rate container, so this is in the right place. We just need to make it taller, I think. Yeah, 110. There we go. And now another container for the battery. Or perhaps we could go with let me see here. I think we can go with calories instead. So let's go with calories, and we'll put the battery up here somewhere. Okay, so here it will be calories. There we go. And we can now place the container and make it taller. There we go. And now we can see if this is more or less located in the same spot. You'll notice that this container is flush with this curve here, and this one is also flush. So this is perfect the way it is. Okay, so now let's lock all the containers. There we go. And here we can add another circle, and we don't need to create it. We can simply come in here, select the heart rate circle, click the image and press Ctrl C, and here press Ctrl, or rather, yeah, here select the data type first, remember, and press Ctrl V. There we go. Now we have the circle there. We just have to tweak it. So let's try and place it correctly. We have to match the same Y coordinate, so 372, and here it's the same. Okay, now let's try and copy the same settings. So this is 20 pixels wide, and this one is not. So there you go, and immediately we have a perfect result. The color seems different because we have the mask here. So let's remove the opacity, and there we go. If we press play, and there we go, a perfect result. We can now continue and add the steps circle right here. And now let's copy the same image, Control C, go into the steps circle, and Control V. There we go. Here we know we only need to set it to 20, and perhaps remove the opacity of the mask because we won't be needing it. Okay, so let's put it on 372. There we go. This is centered, I think. Let's zoom in. and indeed it is. And I believe this is all done. So we can now lock and press preview. And we have 3 working circles for the heart rate, the steps, and the calories, okay? So now I need values underneath them, okay? So here on the heart rate container, I'm gonna add an image combo, set it to heart rate, and press generate. Now we have the numbers here, ready to use, and we'll just put them there. I think I will crop them to content. There we go. And they have to be center aligned. So let's do that and recenter them beneath the circle. Right there. Press preview. There we go. This is perfect. Now let's go and do the same for the steps and the calories. So here on the steps, I'll add an image combo and set the data type and press generate. Let's crop the content. There we go. They look tighter. And center align them. And I'll try to match the same location, so you can simply select the heart rate image combo and see it's on 464. So we can do the same here. And there we go. Perfect alignment. So this is now done. We can now proceed and add the calories image combo and select the data type, press generate. It's more of the same, repeating the same steps over and over. So here, let's try and match the same Y location. So there we go. And maybe move it a little bit to the right, just so it is centered according to the circle. And I believe this is now done. If we press preview, there we go. I believe we have a good result. So we can now proceed. We know that this is heart rate, this one is steps, and this one is calories. But there's nothing here that indicates that to us. So we need to add some reference. And here on the background, I'm gonna add an image. And the library has a few images for the heart rate. So let's choose one. Let's go with this one, okay? And here I will try to resize it. Now, maybe zoom out and make it small enough so it will fit here. Let's lock it and zoom out. Let's try and center it. And this is 27 by 25. And keep that in mind because we're gonna need those dimensions for the other two, okay? So I believe this is too large still. Let's make it smaller and center it. Just like that. Okay, now let's add a pattern effect. Go with the CRT, lower the size, use the mask, and then go with that color. There we go. But now I need it to be darker. So let's add an opacity effect. There we go. And lower the opacity. And press preview. Yes. I believe this will work. So let's do the same for the other two. Another image. Here it will be for the steps, so I'll go into the library and load an image that will represent the steps. We have several here, not sure. Let's go with this one, perhaps. And I'll first apply the CRT effect, so let's go with the pattern. There we go. CRT, and you know what? I'm gonna copy it from the heart rate. So we have this field here, that we can select some other widget and copy all the effects that widget has. So if I select it here, there we go. It is done and it's easy. And now we need to make it smaller, so there we go. And yeah, now I'm not so sure about this icon. We might go, let me see here, perhaps this one. Let's make it smaller. And yes, I believe I prefer this one here. So let's try and center it, lock it. Okay, let me remove the guidelines and see if it will work. I believe it will. We might increase the size of this heart here so it matches the others. So this is all work we have to do in the end. When everything is made and finished, we can fine-tune some aspects of the watch face. So there we go. Yes, I believe this will work, so let's go with it. And now finally let's add the calories image. So image, library, and again we have some images for the calories, and here they are. I think I'll go with this one. Let's copy the effects like we did for the others, so there we go. We can now place it and resize it just like that, and now we can fine-tune the size right there and place it, and there we go. Let's preview. Okay, I believe this will work. So for now I am satisfied with the results. Now I need to address something up here. So you'll notice that we have this menu thing in here, but I was thinking about importing the Vault-Tec logo. So if you're not familiar with the Vault-Tec, the Vault-Tec is the company that created those bunkers where in the game people went and to seek refuge from the nuclear explosions, the Armageddon. Okay, so I think I would like to include this logo here. Now let me see here. I think we can use this one. Let me copy the image. And now let's go into FaceMaker. And by the way, I never do this, but you can full screen FaceMaker like this. It will increase your immersion and you can work better. Okay, so let's do this. Here I am going to add an image and press Ctrl V here on the image field. I believe everything is locked except for this one. And yes, this way we can just move this one here without interfering without the other images. Okay, so now we have a problem. This image has a white background, so I am going to apply a color to alpha, and the white is already selected, so all I have to do is increase the threshold. There we go. Let's go with 100%. Apply, and we still have some artifacts, but once we resize this, they won't be visible. I could, for example, add another color to alpha, and then sample that gray color. So pick this color here, and then increasing the threshold, we could further remove those artifacts and make it almost perfect, and we can. So there we go, almost all gone, and we could further pick this color here and further remove more colors or more gray colors, but I think this will work as is, so no need to complicate. Let's use this image, and now I'm gonna crop it to content. There we go, and we can now resize it. So I'll maybe make it 120. Let's see if this works. Okay, this might work, I think. So now let's apply the pattern effect. Oh dear, color to alpha is not what we needed. We need to select it here, sorry. So pattern, and here switch to CRT, use a mask, and then just tweak everything like we did before. So there we go. We have that logo we wanted. Now I'm not so sure that I like this. Let me see here. Now this is centered. Okay, perhaps if we put it on top, so let's pull everything down, this menu thing we have here. For now, I'm gonna hide the logo, so let's rename the layer, and here I am going to try and select these, this, and I believe it's this one, yeah. It is. So they're selected, and now we can use Shift and the arrow keys to pull them down, just like that, okay? And now I'm going to select the logo and pull it up. Okay. Well, no, I'm not so sure about this. Maybe we won't use it. The logo, I mean. I would like to use it. I think it, you know, it gives some character to the watch face. Yeah. Okay. I didn't want to use circles for the battery. Let me see here if I pull it to the left. Right there, and then maybe use one of these. So let me exit the full screen and go and take a look at the references. We have this sort of yes, I believe I can use this. I think I'm gonna use it, yeah. So let's go back into FaceMaker, and here I will have that. Okay, I'll use this design here for the battery. So I need to create this on FaceMaker, and let's do that. It will be a good challenge. Okay, so now let's zoom in and add a new image right here. And it doesn't matter what it is, because I'll use a vector draw, and then I will start creating that shape. So this, and now I'll select, I'll press Shift and draw an independent line here, just like that. Press Shift and add another independent line, and Control Alt, and now we can push it up. And this one, we'll have to push it left. There we go. So right now we're on 33, and here we should be on 33 too. There we go. And now let's increase the line width. This needs some tweaking. We can zoom in and see better what we're doing here. Perhaps just a tad upwards, and I believe this is done. So save. Okay, we have that shape, and if you take a look here, you'll notice that this has some sort of a triangle there, and we need that. So let's do that. Okay, so here I am going to add another image and draw a vector and try to replicate that. So all the way down here and then go up. And now I can fill it and select that green color and save. There we go. We have that shape that we can now use to create the battery widget. So now I need to add a widget, a new container. There we go. Select battery, and then here I will add a line. So the line will serve our purpose. Here I'll select the battery and press generate. So we're going to create a line image to use on this line widget. Okay, I'm going to create this image here. So let's press generate again, and we need to make it smaller. So let's go with 100 for now. Let's try and place it there. It needs to be smaller, so there we go. And now let's pull it up. And I'm gonna lock it because that way we won't see the border. Perhaps if we make it smaller, something like this, there we go. And this should work. If I now press play, there we go. Now we need that effect. So let's add a pattern effect here. Select the CRT, not circuit board, CRT, mask, and make this smaller. And there we go. And now we need that image, that color, I mean. Now let's press preview. There you go. Now it updated when we press preview, and this is exactly what we need. But we need a placeholder, just like we did for the circles. So here I'm going to copy it. So Control C, here on the background we'll add an image, and press Control V, and there we go. We have that image we need for the placeholder. Let's try and put it on the same spot as the line widget. So I will go in here and see where it is located. So 203 by 20. 203 and 20. Okay, so now we need to make it darker. So let's apply an opacity effect. There we go, and lower it, and now press preview. Perhaps go with a darker placeholder. Well, okay. Now I'm not so sure about the location for this. I might put this back on top and push these two to the bottom. Okay, so let's do that. And I'm sorry, but I really didn't plan this. I'm making this as I go. And I usually do this for many watch faces. I like to, improvise and do the things as I go. So right there, and now we need to select the battery container, the battery here, and this, and the logo. Okay, let's pull them down. Oh, I forgot that. Let's put it back and select these two here. And now we can pull them all down. Okay. Okay, now I'm not so sure about this. No, I'm not so sure about this. You know what? I am going to merge the three. So it will be easier to move them in case we need. So, and this line here. There we go. So let's call it menu. And I am not so sure about this, but I will go with it because we're losing too much time now. And I think I will pull the Pip Boy a little bit to the left, so we have a better layout. Okay. This, I think we can push this up. So let's do that. I'm going to merge this line and this structure here. So let's do that. This one, okay, and this one. So let's merge them. There we go. And now let me see here. I might merge the text also. So let's do that. Add. And okay, we have this. So we can now select this. Let's call it frame, or rather time. And now select these two, or these four, and also the animation. So let's pull them up like this. This way we'll have more space down here, because I believe this was too crowded. We need more space on the bottom part of the watch face. So yes, I believe this will work better. So this and this we can merge also, I believe. So let's do that. Add, and not the logo. Let's call this battery. Okay, so now we can pull them up. So select the battery structure and the logo and the battery line, and we can now pull them up like this. Okay, so finally I believe we can pull all these up also. So let me see here. I think these are the circles. So let's merge them. There we go. And we can also merge the icons. So let's do that. And merge them with the circle placeholders. So we have these, let's call them circles. And now we can select it and also select these. So these and these, and pull them up. So this was actually good because I was able to show you the multi-select, and now you can move several widgets even if they're not on the same container. This is very useful. So remember, you can multi-select by using Shift and mouse click, okay, like this. And you can also, for example, let me unlock them. You can also select them here using Shift, okay. So this is now done, I think. We need something that indicates what this is. So let's do that. Let me just take a look at the reference. And the value is located on the left and the label is located on the top. So let's do that. Okay. We can now push this and this down. Something like that, and maybe a little bit to the right, because we will be adding the battery here, okay, the numbers. So just a tad, something like that. Okay, so here on the background, I'm gonna add a new image and press generate. So it doesn't matter, I am going to use this one and that way we can simply resize it here. So 20 and perhaps increase it just a tad, something like that. And now we need a label, so text artistic, and we'll write power. So here we'll change to black. There we go. Put it there, and I might go with a smaller font, so let's do that. Let's lock it, and we might increase it like that. There we go. And now that we have this, we can simply add the numbers here. So they will be the amount of battery we have. But first I must add that pattern here too. So let's do that. So pattern, CRT, mask, all the way down, and select the green color. There we go. Perfect. Okay, now here on the battery container, I don't think I placed it correctly, so I'm just gonna check first where the hell. Oh, it's here. Okay. This is not important because there's not an app you can go to when you click this, but nevertheless, we should be organized. Okay, so finally we will have the image combo for the power. So select the battery, press generate. Let's select that green color. There we go. And we can now make this larger. Something like this. I'm not sure where the reference has it. Yeah, it's on the upper part. So let's do that. I think it will look good. So crop the content and then try to match the same height as this this shape here. Okay, so right there needs to be smaller. Crop the content, and there we go. Now we'll align it to the right, so let's do that and then place it. And we now need to add that effect, that pattern effect. And there we go. Oh, we need that effect on the hours too, so let's do that. This is easy. Since it was the last effect we applied, it is directly selectable here as the first option. Finally this one, and there we go. Let's press preview. Oh well, it's not perfect. I know, but it will allow you to see what is possible with FaceMaker. I mean, doing this most part of these images on an external software, and then having to import them, and you know, it would be cumbersome to say the least. This way we made everything in FaceMaker using the tools FaceMaker has available, and easily we achieved this shape, for example, that you can see on the reference image. Okay, so this was very easy to create thanks to those tools FaceMaker has. Okay, we have this, and I believe this would be a nice watch face to start with. I believe we can also change this here, so we could, now we can, because I merged them, I believe. So let me see here. No, it's not not this one. Yeah, it's the menu, and I merged them. I could delete them manually and then change what they say here, but I won't do it. I think this serves the purpose, it works, so I won't be making it, okay? This will be the watch face itself. Now all we need is to create a some sort of always on display, and this will be very simple. Okay, we'll only put the hours and minutes and maybe an image of our Pip Boy here, a static one. Okay, so we'll achieve that by first coming into the background container here and selecting the Pip Boy animation, and here I'll select an image we want. So I'll be going with this one. Control C. Here on the always on display, I'll add a background container and then an image, and press Control V here. So we have Pip Boy. Okay, I'll try to put it in the same location, so 3117. 3117. There we go. And we can now lock it. And here I want to make it grayscale. So let's apply a grayscale effect. There we go. And perhaps make it darker. So brightness, and lower the brightness. And I'm not sure that a pattern would work here. Sorry, pattern. Mask. Okay, let's go with the CRT, make it smaller. Yeah, it doesn't, because this is an image that came from an animation. Yeah. Yeah, it won't work. Okay, not needed. I think this will work the same. So let's copy that time structure. So time here and copy background, Control V, and there we go. And here I will crop it to canvas and have a grayscale effect. There we go. And now all we need is the time itself. So time, here I will copy the time widgets, these, from the main watch face into the always on display. There we go. And now here we need a grayscale. We could also just tweak this color of the pattern, so let's do that. Okay, so let's copy the color, or rather add it to the favorites. There, okay? So now we can go into the others and just select this color. And there we go. Only this one to go. And voila! If we press preview now, and I think it will work. Okay, so basically what we did is I haven't copied the animation into the always on display, because you shouldn't have animations running all the time. It will empty your battery in a few hours. So we have to use a static image like we did, and I believe this will work. So this is the screen that will appear when the main watch face goes out. Okay, when it turns off, this is shown, and this will save battery rather than having an animation always moving on the always on display. And I believe that Huawei doesn't allow animations on the background main container, and indeed it doesn't, so it wouldn't be possible. Okay, so yeah, this is the Pip Boy watch face for the Huawei Fit 2. And then you could simply change the look if you want and print a snapshot of your watch face, save it somewhere, and then show it to your friends or share it in a forum or any other place. There we go. This is the Pip Boy watch face for Huawei Fit 2. And there we go. You have a rectangular watch face. Are you happy? This was a simple watch face, and we did it in, I don't know, maybe half an hour, 45 minutes. I hope you liked it, and I'll be doing more rectangular watch faces from now on, so keep visiting my channel and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, and I see you on the next one. Bye!